Conditions are pretty good right now. The temperature, it's falling. We've got a cold front getting ready to come in. The rut, it's just kicking off. We're starting to see signs of scrapes literally all over the property. Everything you can imagine about the rut, it's happening right now. Strategies for hunting, mature whitetails during the rut. To me, you want to hunt a group of does. You want to find an area where that is definitely going to have some does at it, which means, a couple things. Number one, hunting around a food source, whether it's a man-made food source or whether it's a natural food source. Hunting around water would be another opportunity, having the does come through, getting a drink. But one other thing that I like to always keep in mind during that time of the year is I want to find some very, very thick cover near their places where the does are going to be seen at, whether it's feeding or getting something to drink. I believe that does, they really look for a place where they can get isolated, they can get away from all those bucks, because those bucks are running them to death. They're constantly chasing, they're constantly harassing them. And so if you can find a place where that doe is gonna bed and then sneak out to get a quick bite to eat, sooner or later, you're gonna find a big buck in that area. It's easy to sit here where I'm sitting at this chair and hunting the properties that we do to look at certain deer and say, you know what, we're gonna pass that deer. That's a totally different scenario for a lot of people out in the world. If they would have seen that deer at 9 out of 10 places they're hunting, they would harvest them. But this TenPoint came in fairly early after we'd been in there, and he kind of took a dominant role initially. There were several does passing the area and several young bucks, and he's running them around, chasing them around, everything. But because of the scouting cameras we'd been running in this area, I knew there were several deer better than him. Now, this is a great deer. And in your mind, when you start passing a deer, you open yourself up for all kind of questions, down the road. Will I see one better? What's gonna happen? But I just felt like this wasn't the most dominant deer in the area, and he wasn't the deer that I was most excited about from looking at the scouting cameras. We got a couple different lanes here we're primarily paying attention to. The one lane that really kind of follows the bluff is it's gorgeous down there. There's like a little green strip, and there's a major trail there with rubs and scrapes and all kinds of deer sign leading back, up into what's probably a large bedding area. We just don't go back up in that area much. I don't honestly know what all is up in there. And off to the right, it's kind of an old rocky ridge, and that this part of Texas is famous for. And, I'm looking to the left, and all of a sudden, Jeff, I just see that finger. And I've learned through the years, when he starts pointing one direction, I better kind of ease that direction. Something's over there. And I'm looking to the right, and there was no doubt, immediately when I saw that, we had a mature deer there and a deer that I was going to get excited about possibly taking a shot at. The rut, anywhere you go, creates an excitement level. People talk about it 12 months out of the year because it's something of a magical time. Everybody has that belief that this deer that nobody's seen ever comes running out of the brush, chasing a doe, and presents itself an opportunity to harvest it. And that is absolutely could happen at any given time on any hunt in any place in the United States. But it also can be one of the most frustrating, difficult times of the year to hunt if you're a person that patterns deer. And the reason why, when the rut goes on, the patterns are totally out the door. I've long been known as a person who likes to hunt with a wide variety of means and methods. I mean, if it's legal, I want to hunt with it, but you have to understand the limitations of each item that you're taking to the field. And so from a crossbows scenario, I'm deadly accurate and confident out to that 40, maybe even 50 yards in a perfect shot, but you still got to get that perfect shot. The deer's got to give you, what I call the opportunity to make a guaranteed lethal shot. And I don't like to rush a shot unless I'm perfectly confident what's going on. And this was a buck the entire time that he was out there that was not giving me what I needed. Anytime a doe got within 10 or 20 yards of this area, he was taking her off in the brush. So, and this went on for a good 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden it was like the big buck, the one I was looking at, caught sight of that TenPoint and began to posture. He moved way a totally different direction, and kind of almost a stare down began to go on. And the TenPoint, the smaller deer, he's kind of sliding actually right at the blind. I mean, it's like he's gonna climb inside the blind to get away from this other buck. The buck that we're trying to get, I mean, he's just staring at him. And then here comes this little doe that just kind of walks in front of him, and he gets distracted, and the next thing you know, he's on that doe and he's coming out in the shooting lane.
It gets intense. You can hear them running, you can hear them grunting, you can hear them fighting out there. I mean, there was 2 little spikes out there that tangled up. He went over and attacked them, threw them off. Just, yeah, I love a December afternoon when the rut's going on in Texas. That's why I call it home. Whew. I think I smoked him. You can see the lighted knock right there that we shot out of the 10-point. So we're gonna ease up here, take a look at the blood. The shot felt good, looked good. I was rock steady. I mean, I think I went just, you know, crushed it right through the heart, but you never know till you get up, look, and see what you got. I mean, as you would expect, I mean, it's just sticky and covered with blood. I swear he went this way, right Jack. Yeah, yeah. There's blood. You know, when I was watching the deer run off, I mean, you could see him. I could see him go this way. You can see it on these prickly pears right here. That's looking good. We're gonna keep going. That whole cactus is just covered with blood. I see antlers, boys. I see antlers. Look at those 2s on that deer. Broke off fighting. That doesn't surprise me because this guy here is a bully. Look at that deer. God. Look at that right there. We sit and watch this guy just chase everything around. We took the 10-point into the stand tonight, and this is the end result. We had a phenomenal hunt. If you like rutting action, you had to like what you saw today. Thank you, Mr. Buck. You're gonna eat great, and I'm gonna hang you on the wall and enjoy looking at you and remember this day in the field. That's what it's all about.